Hands can lay by your side or just rest on your body somewhere that's comfortable, and we'll just bring our attention to our breath, lying here in stillness for a minute or two. And just breathe in and out through your nose. Nice, slow, steady breath. See if you can have your inhales be the same length as your exhales, so you can count to 3 or 4 if that helps. And if your hands are resting on your body, just notice how it expands, lifts, broadens, and opens as you send the breath down and in. And then allow your ribs and your belly to sink and melt towards the mat as you exhale and empty all the way out. From here, we'll move into reclined butterfly. So bring the soles of your feet together and let your knees fall away this time. So making a diamond shape with your legs. Heels can be close to your groin or wiggle them farther away towards the end of your mat to bring a little more gentleness into this shape. And we'll bring our hands out to the side, our arms in a cactus shape from here. So arms making a bit of a U and just inviting that chest and collarbone to feel a little more broad and open. And if there's a word or an idea that will help you feel more grounded in your body throughout the course of this practice and afterwards, I invite you to choose it now and hold it as your intention as you move through your practice. So examples could be grounded, safe, connected, steady. Choose something that works for you. And use your hands to bring your knees together and then guide them in towards your chest. You can give yourself a little rock and roll. Just feeling your lower back pressing into the mat. And then we're going to cross right leg over left. So as if you're sitting in a chair and you cross your legs, and then see if you can reach for both ankles. So this is a reclined cow face pose. If you can't reach your ankles, if that's too intense, then bringing your hands to your shins works too. But we're basically staying in this cross-legged position and keeping both of our ankles, basically pulling them a little bit towards our bum. And we'll switch sides so you can release your ankles, uncross your legs. Just let both knees come towards your chest for a moment. Maybe give those ankles a roll in each direction. And then left leg crosses over right first. And then reach for both of those ankles, bringing them towards your hips or your bum a little bit more. So knees are falling towards your belly as well. You're kind of folded at the hips here. And you can release those ankles, unravel your legs, bring the knees to chest one last time, rocking from side to side. And then roll onto your side for fetal position. Take a couple more breaths here, just enjoying this restful shape. And then press up to a seat. So you'll want to be sitting with your legs facing the long edge of your mat because we're going to come into a wide-legged seat right away. So facing the side of your mat will allow most of your legs to stay on that cushioned part of your mat rather than on the floor, and sit up as tall as you can, finding your sit bones as best you can. You can prop something underneath you, a pillow, a block, a cushion to help your spine lengthen and sit up nice and tall. And when you found this wide-legged position, we'll just hinge forward at the hips slightly. It may be a very subtle movement, or you may have some depth there to be able to hinge forward and just let your hands rest on the mat in front of you. Chin can tuck, gaze can be down at the mat in that space between your legs. And just breathe here. Feel this opening and stretch, likely all through the groin, maybe along hamstrings and calves, toes pointing up towards the ceiling so those legs are active. One more breath here. And then lift your head so that you're sitting up nice and tall again, and bring that left foot in towards the right thigh. So we're switching to one leg long, one leg bent. Rotate from the waist just a little so you're facing that long knee, and then hinge again. Nose towards knee, right toes staying pointed up to the ceiling. You can reach your arms out for that ankle or those toes if you'd like, or they can just rest on the mat closer to your hips. So you don't want to be straining too much here, just finding a depth of stretch that works for you. And release your hands if they're outstretched, rolling yourself back up to a tall spine. So sitting up nice and tall, and we'll switch sides, bringing the left leg out long, and the sole of the right foot comes to the thigh. You can use your hands as little props or tripods to help you sit up straight for a moment, and then rotating slightly to face that knee and hinging at the waist. Knee to nose. Allow your gaze and your jaw to be soft. So even if this feels intense along the back of your leg, can you bring gentleness and softness to the rest of your body and to your breath still? Just a couple more breaths here. And then sit up nice and tall. Again, this time bring both knees in towards your chest and just find a little ball-like shape sitting here on your mat. You can let your chin tuck. Maybe your forehead comes down to rest on one of your knees. Take a couple deep breaths. Another one, big in. Sigh it out. Nice. And we'll rotate around on our bum so that you're facing the top of your mat this time. And finding those sit bones, once again, bring legs out long in front of you, staff pose. So nice long spine, both legs out long, toes pointing up towards the ceiling. And then from here, hinge at the hips again, folding over for west stretch. So your knees can be bent for sure. It may be not feasible for you to have your legs out long and straight. That's totally fine. You're just looking to bring your belly towards your thigh, sort of folding in half here. Hands reaching out for those shins, calves, ankles. Maybe they reach all the way for your big toes. Keep breathing. And release your arms, bring them back up towards your hips and move your legs to butterfly. So we were already in this shape laying down on the ground. This time we're sitting up on our bum still, soles of the feet together. And again, once you find that nice long spine in this position, as tall as you can be, it's okay to still have something propped onto your bum here. Hinge forward at those hips once more, bringing your gaze down towards the earth. Maybe your forehead comes towards your feet. But if that's too much, you can just hinge ever so slightly. Connect to your breath. See if you can still be breathing into the ribs and the belly, bringing softness. One more breath. And come up to a nice tall seat if you're folded over. Use your hands to bring those knees together. So closing up your legs like a book, and we'll come up to sit on our shins. So just bring your bum back on your heels. Let your hands rest on your thighs. Gaze can be low or eyes can be closed here. And we're just going to find some box breath for a moment. So you're inhaling for a count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Holding it for 1, 2, 3. Exhale it for 1, 2, 3. Hold. 1, 2, 3. Breathe in. 1, 2, 3. Hold it. 1, 2, 3. Exhale for 1, 2, 3, and hold. 1, 2, 3. Keep going. Breathe in. Start counting out yourself for the inhale, the hold, the release, the hold. If 3 feels too slow, You can reduce the count to 2 if you need to take slightly shorter breaths. And if you're feeling connected to this pace and feel like you can slow down even further to take even deeper breaths, then increase the count to 4. Just a couple more rounds. One more. And when you're done, just return to your normal, natural breathing. Open your eyes. Plant your hands on the mat in front of you and we'll move to plank. So stepping one foot back, you can stay here if that's enough for you, or both feet back. So your heels are lifted, legs are pressing towards straight, and you're really pressing out through those heels to light up your legs with strength. Your hands are planted firmly underneath your shoulders. And we will stay here still, hold for a count of 3 more. 1, 2, 3, and press up to find down dog. Nice work. You can walk it out for this first one, pedal your feet. See how this feels. Remember to plant all 10 fingers firmly into the earth. They are your foundation here. Looking for a nice long spine, hips pressing towards the ceiling, and your knees can absolutely be bent. You do not need to find straight legs in this pose. Inhale, lift those heels, look forward, and walk all the way to meet your hands, rolling up one vertebrae at a time to find mountain pose. Feet are planted firmly into the earth, about hip width apart. Belly button hugs in towards spine just a little bit. And let's roll those shoulders back and down. Take a couple grounding breaths here. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, hands to prayer, and sit your bum back, chair pose. Chest stays lifted. Feet stay rooted. Belly button stays hugging in towards that spine. Keep breathing here. And fold all the way forward, hands to earth, fold in half. Inhale, lift halfway up, bring hands to shins. Long spine. Exhale, plant your hands, step back 1 foot at a time, plank pose from knees or toes, and lower all the way to the mat. Untuck those toes, press them into the earth, and inhale, collarbone up, baby cobra. Just a small back bend here. Exhale, forehead down. We'll do that again. Inhale, slight lift, elbows hugging into your ribs. Nice work. Exhale, lower, and then press the earth away with those hands, moving through table if you need to. Down dog is where we will meet. Inhale, lift your right leg up, step through to right thumb, heel toe it over, couple wiggles to the edge of your mat for some more stability, and then lift up, high lunge. So front knee is over front ankle, back heel is lifted, that leg pressing towards straight, chest is nice and tall. Close the space between your ribs and hips here. Just seeing if you can find a long spine rather than a deeply arched spine, which is pretty common in high lunge. When you're ready, inhale your arms up. Exhale, cross right arm over left, and then bring those hands to your shoulders, or even wrapping around your shoulder blades like you're giving yourself a hug. Legs have not moved. We have high lunge with nice wrapped arms here. 2 more breaths. Release the arms, plant them down to the earth, step back foot up to front. Inhale, lift halfway up. Exhale, fold, hang heavy. Give yourself a little wiggle here. And then sweep up nice and tall, arms up. Exhale, hands to prayer, mountain. Couple grounding breaths. You can take a big one and sigh it out if you'd like. One more in. And exhale, sit your bum back, chair pose. Knit those ribs in again. So keeping your belly active. Face stays as soft as you can, just not gripping or clenching anywhere that you don't need to be. Two more breaths. Nice. Fold forward, hands to earth. Inhale, lift halfway up, hands to shins. Exhale, plant hands, step back to plank from knees or toes. Shift forward all the way to your mat. Untuck your toes, press them into the earth, and press the earth away, cobra or baby cobra. So maybe a deeper back bend here, bringing arms towards straight. You can lower on an exhale. Add it one more time. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. And then press up to plank and down dog. Inhale, left leg up, step through to left thumb. Widen your stance to get a bit more stability, and then chest lifts up, high lunge second side. So front knee over ankle, back leg is strong and on. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, left arm under right this time. And find that hug or wrap with the arms. One more breath. Release your arms, plant them down on the earth. Step back foot to meet front. Lift halfway. Inhale. Exhale, fold, hang heavy. One extra breath folded over here. And then inhale, arms sweep up. Exhale, hands to prayer. Couple grounding breaths in mountain. One more. Side out. Inhale, arms sweep up. Exhale, bow and fold, hands to earth. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, plant, step back to plank. Shift forward, lower halfway or all the way. Sweep up, cobra or up dog. Squeeze your thighs together, press the earth away, and roll back, down dog. Nice work. Inhale, right leg up. Step through to right thumb again. We're coming to high lunge. One more time, so get your stance ready. Lift up. Chest and spine lifted. Adjust those ribs so they're not peeling away from the rest of your body. Hands can stay on hips this time if you like. We're going to add a few dips from this position. If you want to add the challenge of having your arms lifted, absolutely, you can do that. And we'll just begin to bring the back knee towards the earth and then press it back away. So the lunge remains in that front leg. Your knee's not really moving. It's just the back knee that's dropping and then lifting. Drop, lift. Keep breathing. One more. Drop and lift, and then drop that back foot, moving to warrior two. So back foot comes parallel to the short end of your mat. Lunge remains in that front right leg. Inhale, arms to a T. Gaze over those front fingers. Just notice where your shoulders are here and if they're stacked over your hips. So you want a nice strong center in this pose, not reaching too far behind you or in front of you. Couple breaths here in warrior two. Now straighten that front leg, reach forward as far as you can, and then hinge at the hips. Right arm drops, left arm lifts, triangle pose. So you've tipped over like a teapot, core is engaged. You can lift your bottom hand away from your calf to give that a little check. Two more breaths. Bring the lunge back into that front leg. Lift back up to warrior two just for a moment. Hands to waist, come up. Both legs are straight and pivot to face the long edge of your mat. So that front foot has to adjust so all 10 toes are facing the same direction. And from here, hinge at the waist, wide-legged forward fold. So bringing hands to the earth underneath you. You can lengthen your stance further once you get there, if you have some more depth through those hips. And you can always shorten it too. You're just looking to be hinged over at the waist, letting your head hang heavy, breathing into the opening through the groin, the back of the legs, all the way into those ankles. One more breath. Walk your hands towards your front foot. So you're pivoting on your feet so that your hands are framing your right front foot, and then drag it back to find plank for a moment. Breathe here for 1, 2, 3. Press up, down dog. Nice work. You can walk those feet out. Again, just notice how your right side is feeling relative to your left side. If maybe you feel like your right leg is a little bit longer. Inhale the left leg up, step through to left thumb, and we'll press up to high lunge once more. Second side. So once you've found some steadiness in those legs, we're going to add the dip. Choose where you'd like your hands to be and lower the back knee towards the earth. Press it back up. Straight leg. Dip and lift. Dip and lift. Remember that front knee, keep going, dip, is barely moving. It's just the back knee. Dip again. 2 more. 1 more. And then drop that back foot and wiggle your way into a warrior two position. So front heel lines up to back arch, shoulders over hips, and then arms to a T. Let your gaze travel down your left arm and over those fingers. Straighten your front leg, reach forward, that left arm, and then drop it down to your calf, hinging for triangle second side. Engage that core, squeezing activating it. Trust that you can be here for just a few more breaths. Bring the lunge back into that front leg to find warrior two just for a moment. Hands come to hips, and then straighten the front leg, pivot on that heel so you're facing the long edge of your mat. Shorten or lengthen your stance a little bit if you need, but legs should be ideally widening out away from your hips. And then hinge forward, forward fold, bringing your hands underneath you. Let your head really drop and relax here. So maybe give your head a little shake, yes and no. It's easy to have our gaze fixed on the earth, but then your neck is basically doing work to be craning your head upwards in a way that it just doesn't need to be. So let's just let it off the hook. One more breath here. And then begin to walk your hands and pivot on those feet. So you're walking back to a lunge position, basically facing the top of your mat before front foot drags or steps back. Hold in plank for 3, 2, 1. Lift up, down dog. And you can lower your knees to the earth, slow and steady. Come back, sitting up on our shins, the way we were near the beginning of class. So your seat is on your heels, back on your heels. Bring your attention back to your breathing here and just allow it to move through you and begin to slow. Find steadiness. You can always come to a cross-legged seat if you'd rather. We'll be here for just a few more breaths. And then bring your legs out in front of you, nice and long. One more time, sitting up tall on your seat. And then bring just your left knee into chest. Lift it up and over so it's on the outside of your right thigh. Hug that knee in towards your chest and rotate through the waist so your chest rolls open to the left. Your left hand can be like a kickstand or a tripod extended out beside or behind you. And keep that long leg still nice and active. So those toes are pointing up towards the ceiling. And just feel this nice twisting, grounding. Come back to center, unravel those legs, bring them both out long, give them a little shake or wiggle, and then right knee into chest. Lift it up and over the long extended leg so it's on the outside of the left thigh. Hug that knee in and chest rolls open to the right. Just a couple more breaths here. And then return to center, unwrap those legs, and guide yourself down onto your back so you can keep your feet planted into the earth, scoot your bum down, and just slowly roll down to a final resting pose, Shavasana, or you can return to a tented knee position, how we began today's practice. And when you're down there, just give yourself any wiggles that you need to kind of find a comfy spot and allow yourself to get nice and heavy into the earth. And enjoy this last minute of rest before you return to your day. And if you'd like to continue just lying for a few minutes, the beauty of an at-home practice is you can extend this rest for as long as you would like or are able. And when you're ready to close your practice, just press yourself up to a seat. Bring your hands to prayer position in front of your heart and just bow forward gently, thanking yourself for showing up. And my wish for you is that your word or intention for this grounding, centering practice stays with you wherever your day or your week may take you from here. I'll see you next time.